Hey guys, what's going on? This is Josh from Spotted Euros, and this is a big one. We're testing this TDI. We're taking it to the max. This is our own form of the Ike Gauntlet. We've got our 2009 Volkswagen Touareg Tdi hooked up to the trailer, and we've got a V8 Touareg right here. We're gonna climb 5,000 feet in elevation. This is a big one. So if you want to see how this TDI does in such a big hill climb, stay tuned. Okay guys, for those who are new, Spotted Euros, we're a used car dealership. We buy and sell cars, and we make some YouTube videos. We do quite a bit of Touareg content because the dealership Toaureg is this 2005 Volkswagen Touareg V8. Now, we recently got this 2009 TDI, something we've always wanted to get. And we've been making a couple videos on it. So if you've missed any other of the TDI or Touareg videos, go back and watch some of those, or subscribe for some more. Before we hit the road, let's take a look at what we're towing. So like I said, this is the dedicated Spotted Euros tow rig. It's a 2005 Volkswagen Touareg with the 4.2 liter V8 engine. The Touareg is sitting on our trailer. This is an 18-foot trailer. 18-foot trailer, and it weighs about 2,000 pounds, 2,500 pounds. The Touareg weighs about 6,000 pounds. So we're definitely right at the towing capacity of this Touareg. The towing capacity of these Touaregs are 7,700 pounds. So like I said, we are literally right there. I've always wanted to get one of these diesels, and I've always wondered how much better the diesel will do compared to the V8. Now, if you're interested in some more comparison videos of V8 towing versus the TDI towing, we did a video where we basically towed each other. We swapped them. The V8 towed the TDI, and then we switched, and the TDI towed the V8. So if you're interested in that comparison, check out the other video. But it's pretty apparent that this TDI has quite a bit more power and can tow a lot better than this V8. So that's why we're here. We want to now see the ultimate test, how well this TDI will do up this canyon. Now, this is kind of overkill. I'm gonna get in the car, it's just too loud. This is the ultimate test. Now, in a lot of ways, this is kind of overkill compared to a lot of the times what we're towing. So, like I said, Spotted Euros, we're a used car dealership. We sell a lot of Jettas, Golfs, GLIs, GTIs, Tiguans, that kind of stuff. So, all of those cars are a lot lighter than this Touareg. So this is definitely heavier than a lot of what we do. And then also where we go, we don't have, we pick up cars in California, we pick up cars in Las Vegas, Phoenix, San Francisco, and really there's nothing that kind of comes close to this type of hill. So this, like I said, is a lot more than what we usually do. Enough talking, let's hit the road and see how this thing does. This is definitely, like I said, no small hill. So you're going from Salt Lake City up to Park City. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the Park City ski resorts. So this whole climb is about a 3,000 foot climb. So like I said, it is no slouch. So here we are getting up to speed actually, and we are having no problem doing that. Let's set the cruise control to 60 miles an hour. We're gonna actually just leave this in drive and let the computer do the shifting. We're also going to keep an eye on the oil temperature and the coolant temperature as well, but there's a good chance that that's not even going to really change. So we're headed up this canyon. So what makes this road so dangerous in the wintertime is all of the curves. I mean, this thing zigzags all over the place, and I mean, you're climbing 3,000 feet, so add a little snow to that, and cars and stuff can have kind of a hard time. So and at the same time, let's just reset the average consumption so we can see what that is as well. So we're going along just fine. This is having no problem at all keeping the 60 miles an hour. Here's where it becomes much more of an incline. And actually, there's quite a bit of traffic. I'm going to bump this up to 65 miles an hour. So it just downshifted, looks like it downshifted into 4th gear. But I mean, this is accelerating. This is like the steepest part of this climb, and it's accelerating up to 65. Just see, yeah, we're still in 4th gear, but we're now at 65 miles an hour. Still climbing. We've actually dropped down to 60, so it's still in 4th gear. Still in 4th gear, and it can't quite maintain that 65, so it's dropped down to 60, 3,000 RPMs. Oil temperatures are definitely rising, getting close to 250, and the coolant temperature is rising as well. So let's bump this back down to 60. Yeah, that coolant temperature is getting hot. So let's back it off just a little bit more down to 55. So we're not pushing it too much. It's in 5th gear now. Still climbing. I think the steepest part of the climb is over. It's kind of what it was back there. I'm really surprised the coolant temperature popped up. Oil temperature still a little hotter than I'd like it to be, but the coolant temperature is coming down. Downshift into 4th gear. We are getting passed. We are getting passed by the big trucks and the big campers, but that's okay. We're not getting passed by any 18-wheelers, any of the big trucks, so okay. We're almost to the top. temperature's coming down quite a bit. Still pretty hot on the oil side. But it is able to maintain the 55. I mean, we could even keep it at the 60 if we really wanted to. But we are trying to, you know, watch the temperatures. We don't want things to get too hot. It definitely didn't get in the range of too hot, but you know, the temperatures were rising. Here comes the coolant temperatures rising again. We're still maintaining 55 miles an hour. That's not the problem. It's more of just trying to keep an eye on the temperatures at this point. Oil temperatures up to 250. Coolant temperature is rising. It's definitely a little bit hotter than I like. And we are still climbing. Here are some of the big trucks, the 18-wheelers. Definitely pushing this Touareg, pushing this TDI. So I'm going to move over. We're not running a race here. I'm going to move over and just drop it down to 50 so that we're not getting too hot. This is a big hill. Now, keep in mind, this is a big hill, and this is kind of a maxed out load. So if we were just hauling just a Jetta or a regular car, it probably would have an easier time. I really don't like how the temperatures have kind of bounced or pushed up so quickly. But I mean, this is the test. We're definitely seeing how this thing can handle this weight and this type of climb. So as you can see, the coolant temperature is definitely up there. And now the oil temperature is up past the 250 mark. And we're at 50 miles an hour. Once again, speed is not the problem. Seems like the cooling is the issue, and that is pretty much it. That is going to be the top of the hill. You can see we're now coasting, and the coolant temperature is dropping instantly. Let's bump it up. I don't want to really go that much faster downhill, but we can put it back into 60. Oil temperature's coming down, and the coolant temperature is back down to the normal 200 degrees. Now we are starting to get going too fast, so let's apply the brakes. We do not want to get too hot. So there's 60. Let the brakes cool off. We're up to 65 now. Keeping a good distance. behind the cars. We're up to 70, so let's apply the brakes again. Back down to 60. Again. We're applying the brakes. Temperatures are back to normal after we're coming down. So there you go. That was as interesting, I'm sure, to you guys as it was to me. Now, a couple of things. This it definitely has the power to maintain the speed. If we kept it at 60, if we kept it at 65, I'm sure it had the power to stay at those speeds. But we kind of have an issue as far as the cooling goes. The oil started to get hot, then the coolant started to get hot, and we just kept our eye on it. We played it on the safe side. We definitely were not pushing it as far as temperature goes. The highest this got was, let's see, the highest, I mean, both the oil and the coolant seemed to get up to about 250 degrees. So I mean, that's probably where this Touareg maybe could use some improvements. Now, like I said, this is the ultimate test. We're usually not maxing this out. We're usually not hauling such a big load, and also going up that kind of incline is not typical as well. So what's interesting is Park City, the elevation it's about 7,000 feet. Salt Lake, the elevation is 4,000 feet, so that's a 3,000 foot difference. However, we climbed quite a bit, and then as you saw, we came down quite a bit. So I would imagine that we actually climbed more like 4,000 feet, and then we came back down 500 or 1,000 feet over the course of a little bit. So that's interesting. I didn't even really see the average consumption. I think it was under 10, but even after a little bit, it's now reading 11.4. So that's it. That is it. I'm a little bummed that we were having temperature problems. Now, this Touareg does have 170,000 miles on it. The oil is still good, but it definitely is getting towards the end of the mileage. Here in a couple thousand miles is when it's due to change the oil, so maybe some fresh oil would help regulate the temperature, maybe a little bit, not sure. And then as well as the coolant. You know, this is a used car. I'm not sure when the coolant was ever changed, or if they ever flushed the coolant and put new coolant in this. Most likely they did, but like I said, you never know. So maybe fresh fluids in this would help regulate that temperature just a little bit. It is interesting because driving there, driving under normal conditions, this doesn't have a problem. It doesn't come up in temperature at all, not even slightly. I mean, it's just when it comes down to really pushing it, we were definitely getting the temperature pretty hot. But anyway, that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this Touareg, what you think of the diesel. This is definitely a good test. It's their own version of the Ike Gauntlet, and it definitely was a good one. So thanks guys, thanks for watching, and subscribe for more. We've got plenty more to come, so subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thanks guys.